Greetings, brave souls, and welcome back to the Ghastly Journal. I'm your guide through the shadows, where the line between reality and nightmare blurs. Tonight, we're diving into a tale so unsettling it'll make your skin crawl and your heart race. Picture this, a crumbling mansion in the heart of Maine, hiding a secret so dark it's been locked away for generations. A family curse, a pair of twins who aren't what they seem, and one woman's desperate fight to end a centuries-old pact with something not of this world. If you're ready to uncover the truth behind the Hawthorne family's darkest secret, grab a blanket, dim the lights, and don't look behind you. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell to join us on this chilling journey. Let's begin. Tonight's story is about Clara Hawthorne, a young woman who thought she knew her family until she inherited a house that whispered secrets in the dead of night. It's a tale of courage, sacrifice, and the price of breaking a curse that's haunted her bloodline for centuries. But before we dive in, let me ask you, have you ever felt like your family was hiding something? A story no one talks about, a room no one enters. Hold that thought, because Clara is about to uncover a truth that will change everything. Clara Hawthorne was 29 when she drove down the foggy, pine-lined road to Blackthorn Manor, a sprawling Victorian estate in coastal Maine. The house had belonged to her grandmother, Evelyn Hawthorne, who passed away at 95, leaving Clara as the sole heir. As a child, Clara spent summers at Blackthorn, chasing fireflies in the overgrown gardens and exploring the mansion's maze-like halls. But one room was off limits, a locked door on the third floor, its keyhole sealed, its secrets guarded by Evelyn's stern warnings. "Some things are better left alone, Clara," she'd say, her voice trembling with something Clara couldn't name now. Standing in the shadow of the manor's ivy-covered spires, Clara felt a strange pull. The house seemed alive, its windows glinting like eyes in the dusk. After Evelyn's funeral, a quiet affair attended by Clara's mother, Margaret, her Aunt Beatrice, and a few distant cousins, Clara was handed an envelope sealed with a wax crest of a raven clutching a rose. Inside was a letter in Evelyn's elegant script and a tarnished silver key. "My dearest Clara, if you're reading this, I'm gone. Blackthorn Manor is yours now, along with its burdens. I've kept secrets to protect you, but the truth can't stay buried forever. The key unlocks the room on the third floor. What you find there may haunt you, but you deserve to know about the twins. Born in 1949, they were my children, but they were ... different. I did what I thought was right, though it broke my heart. Be careful, Clara. Some truths, once uncovered, can never be forgotten. With all my love, Evelyn." Clara's hands shook as she read the letter. Twins. She'd never heard of any siblings to her mother or aunt. Her mother, Margaret, stood in the doorway, her face pale. "What does it say?" she asked. Clara lied, saying it was just about the house, but the key burned in her pocket, urging her to uncover the truth. That night, under a moonless sky, Clara climbed the creaking stairs to the third floor. The air grew colder with each step, the house groaning as if protesting her presence. At the end of the hall, the locked door loomed, its wood carved with faint, spiraling patterns that seemed to shift in the shadows. Clara inserted the key, and the lock clicked open with a sound like a sigh. Inside was a nursery, frozen in time. 2 cribs stood against a wall, their paint peeling, draped with faded quilts embroidered with names, Ezra and Esther. A rocking chair sat in the corner, a dusty teddy bear on its cushion. Shelves held toys, wooden trains, porcelain dolls, a wind-up carousel that looked untouched for decades. The air smelled of lavender and something metallic, like old blood. Clara's flashlight caught a framed photograph on a dresser, Evelyn, young and radiant, holding 2 infants. But her smile was strained, her eyes shadowed with fear. Clara found a journal on the nightstand, its pages brittle. The first entry, dated July 10th, 1949, read, "Today I gave birth to Ezra and Esther. They're beautiful, but there's something ... off. Their eyes follow me, not like babies, but like they know something I don't. I'm scared, but I love them. They're mine." Subsequent entries grew darker. Evelyn wrote of the twins' unnatural silence, their ability to speak in full sentences at 6 months, and their habit of staring at her with unblinking eyes. Pets disappeared from the estate, and Evelyn found Ezra playing with a bird's broken wing, his face expressionless. By October 1949, she wrote, "They whisper to each other in a language I can't understand. Last night, I saw Esther standing over Ezra's crib, holding a knife from the kitchen. She's only 3 months old. How is this possible?" Clara's heart raced as she read of her grandfather Henry's death in 1950, officially ruled a heart attack, but suspected by Evelyn to be the twins' doing. The final entry, dated December 31st, 1950, was chilling. "I can't do this anymore. They're not my children, not really. I've found a place for them, far away. God, forgive me for what I must do." Determined to understand, Clara searched the attic, hidden behind a panel in the second-floor study. Among trunks labeled with family relics, she found one marked E&E 1949 to 1957. Inside were medical records from a remote clinic in Norway, detailing the twins' admission in 1951 for severe behavioral abnormalities. Notes described their intelligence as beyond human norms and their behavior as predatory. The final record, dated 1957, stated they died during an experimental procedure. Photographs showed Ezra and Esther growing from infants to children, their eyes consistently hollow, their smiles mechanical. A separate box contained newspaper clippings from the 1800s onward, each reporting twins born to Hawthorne women, followed by mysterious deaths or disappearances. A pattern emerged. Every 3rd generation, twins brought calamity. A 1947 journal entry from Evelyn mentioned a family curse and her relief that Margaret, Clara's mother, was an only child. But the twins' birth in 1949 shattered that hope. In the attic's farthest corner, Clara found a small, unmarked door, its hinges gleaming as if recently installed. Beyond it was a cramped room with 2 child-sized rocking chairs facing each other, their cushions embroidered with ravens. Symbols covered the walls, spirals, crosses, and shapes that seemed to writhe. Clara recognized them from a book she'd found in Evelyn's desk, the Hawthorne Grimoire, a handwritten tome of rituals and spells. One passage explained the curse's origin in 1719. Eleanor Hawthorne made a pact with an entity for wealth and influence. Every 3rd generation, it claims to children as vessels, wearing their faces but harboring its malice. The only way to stop it is to end their lives before their 1st birthday or bind them through ritual. Evelyn had performed a binding ritual, trapping the entity in the attic room. But the grimoire warned that the binding weakened every 25 years or upon the caster's death. With Evelyn gone, the entity was stirring. Before we continue, let's ground this tale in reality. Family secrets, especially those tied to trauma, can haunt generations. Take the case of the DuPont family, one of America's wealthiest dynasties. In the 1990s, John DuPont's descent into paranoia and violence shocked the world, culminating in murder. Decades later, descendants spoke of a family curse of mental instability, not supernatural but psychological, passed down through silence and shame. Or consider the Kennedy family, plagued by untimely deaths and scandals often called a curse. These stories remind us that inherited burdens, whether supernatural or psychological, can shape lives. Clara's discovery mirrors how real families grapple with hidden truths, from abuse to mental illness, often locked away like a forbidden room. Clara sought help from her Aunt Beatrice, a recluse living in a seaside cottage filled with herbs and occult books. Beatrice confirmed the curse. The twins weren't human, but vessels for an entity that had haunted the Hawthorns since 1719. They're the same being, reborn every third generation, Beatrice said, showing Clara photos of past twins. And Teresa, 1890, James and Jane, 1822, all with identical, empty eyes. Beatrice agreed to perform the ritual, using her blood as a direct descendant of the twins' mother. They prepared meticulously, gathering rare herbs, henbane, mandrake, sea salt, and iron filings. At midnight, they entered the attic room, the air icy, the rocking chairs swaying without wind. Beatrice chanted from the grimoire, drawing symbols in chalk mixed with ash. Clara lit candles at the points of a pentagram. As Beatrice cut her palm, letting blood drip onto the symbols, the room shook, and childlike voices echoed, "You can't hold us forever. We are promised a soul from every generation." The symbols glowed, but the final incantation was missing erased. From the grimoire, Clara remembered a music box in the nursery, its melody haunting her childhood. Racing downstairs, she found a note inside: to break the pact, return them to the source. The source was the Hawthorn crypt, where Eleanor was buried. Clara ran to the crypt, a stone structure in the manor's overgrown cemetery. The twins appeared, their forms flickering, their voices taunting. "You're too late, Clara. The debt must be paid." Ignoring them, Clara unlocked the crypt with Evelyn's key and found a stone altar with a carved raven. Instinctively, she spoke. "I, Clara Hawthorn, renounce the pact of 1719. I return what was taken. The cycle ends now." The twins screamed, their forms dissolving into mist. A figure appeared, Eleanor Hawthorn, her face weary but kind. "You've freed us," she said. "The wealth, the manor, it's gone, but so is the curse." She faded, and the crypt trembled. Clara and Beatrice fled as dawn broke. The manor shimmered and vanished, leaving an empty field. The Hawthorn fortune was gone, but so was the entity's hold. Clara felt lighter, unburdened by a legacy of darkness. She and Beatrice drove away, ready for ordinary lives. This tale isn't just about ghosts, it's about breaking cycles. The Hawthorns curse symbolizes how families carry trauma, whether it's addiction, abuse, or silence. Clara's choice to sacrifice wealth for freedom reflects real-life decisions to confront painful truths. Psychologically, the twins represent repressed guilt, manifesting as fear. Historically, tales of cursed twins echo folklore like the doppelganger, where doubles signify duality or corruption. The grimoire's rituals draw from 18th century occult practices, blending Christian and pagan elements, showing how desperation drives people to extreme measures. The lesson here is simple but profound. Confronting the past, no matter how painful, is the only way to heal. Whether it's a family secret, a personal trauma, or a societal wrong, facing it head-on takes courage but frees you from its shadow. Clara's story teaches us that some legacies are worth letting go, even if it means losing what you thought defined you. Be brave enough to open the locked doors in your life. You might find freedom on the other side. That's all for tonight's Ghastly Journal. Did Clara's tale send shivers down your spine? Are you ready to face your own locked doors? Like, subscribe, and share this story with those who love a good scare. Until next time, sleep tight if you dare.